What we have here is a 1924 Crosley 3R3 Trirdyn radio. This is a very, very early radio, well, being from 1924, and is in really bad shape. This radio belonged to the late, great John Bachman, and it was a project that I believe he started, but never finished. I wound up with this after doing some work for his widow, and she gave this to me and a couple of other odds and ends. She didn't really know what to do with them, and quite honestly, I'm not even sure I do. This radio is missing a ton of parts. Actually, it's mostly complete. It looks like what happened was the original board that this was all bolted onto was damaged or rotted, or something happened to it. And I believe it may have been John himself who tried to create a new board and mounted everything to it, as you see here. I don't know what all is missing or what it would take to fix. I guess it could all be figured out. I have the schematic right here and a few other pieces of paper that describe how it's supposed to work. And there's tons of information on the internet relating to the topic, so it shouldn't be too hard. It's a very simple radio, only 3 tubes. But one of the problems of this radio is that the tube sockets themselves are worn beyond belief. I think one of them is actually cracked. And it's not this one. They're made of, I believe, Bakelite. Yeah, I think this one's cracked. And I'm just not so sure that it can be salvaged without replacing the tube sockets. And at that point, it becomes really a parts unit. If I were to find another one of these... Now, this radio is actually worth something, properly restored. But emphasis on properly restored. But it can be fixed, with the right parts and determination, but whether it's worth it or not, I really think it would be better off as a parts radio, because it's in such wonky shape. It looks like there's like 2 transformers. There's one here, and then I've got this one, unless this is actually that one, just a duplicate of it. See, I don't know. I'm not an electronics guy, really. Honestly, I swear I'm not. So I don't know what's what. Let's see, we have a transformer here. I believe that's what that means. And there's okay. There's 2 transformers in that schematic, and this must be the second one. The question is, well, how does this all connect? And I think I figured out some of it just now. That goes on like that, and that would bolt on to there, and this probably goes on to there. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to see a diagram or something, a better, like a physical block diagram of some kind. Anyway, this radio would have run on battery power, because back in those days, there really wasn't an expectation of household power, especially in rural communities like this one. Like, for example, Bennington, New Hampshire wouldn't have had, power. Actually, we did have power, because there's a hydroelectric dam that dates back to about 1911 or so in the middle of the town. But a lot of remote areas wouldn't have had power, so they would have bought a radio like this and run it on electricity. Run it on battery power. Yeah, that's it. So, and it wouldn't have had necessarily a loudspeaker, but headphones were big back then. This is the headphone jack. This is the power switch, I think. Maybe it's a pull-on type, or it used to be. Does it work? Apparently not. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's how it works. Pull on. There's your tuning. No, wait. This must be like fine tuning of some kind, because it just moves these two coils apart like that. And this is the actual tuning knob. I have another tuning control here that's badly corroded. So this must have been the one that he took out, I assume. Very, very, very interesting stuff. But wait a minute. It looks to me... Oh, I see what he did. This is really just a test bench. Originally, all these guts would have been mounted right in here. Aha. They see screw holes where... Yep, okay. I see what he did here. Very interesting. Well, I think I'm right as rain. He built this platform for the sole purpose of bench testing everything here, which is ingenious. Then again, I wouldn't expect anything less from the great John Bachman. So, I think she can be fixed. There's really nothing to it. I mean, all the wiring, there is no wiring. It's just metal rods, all soldered and screwed together. It's actually a pretty ingeniously simple setup here. And parts are not very hard to find. Just amazing that something this old, this thing's 90-something years old, might actually live to see another day. I might be able to fix it. It's so dead simple, and I have all the resources at my fingertips. Just getting it all fixed is going to be the problem. Because I know nothing about electronics, so there's a lot of stuff that I need to know to make this work. I mean, I know very basic stuff, but not nearly enough. I would like to find another couple of tube sockets, replace the ones that are damaged. Like, for example, these contacts are bent, and they no longer contact the tube base. But if I bend them up like that, now they work suddenly, just like so. And some of them are going to be a little ornery, but I think we can do this. So this is how it's supposed to be mounted in the box. I'm merely putting it back together just to get all the pieces consolidated in a way that I can transport them easier. And because I had this thing stored in my house in 2 separate locations, it was getting kind of hectic, because space, as you can clearly see, is of a premium in this place. So I can't waste any room that I don't have to. But this is damn cool. It might actually be fixable, so I'm excited about that. Trirdyn. That's the faceplate. Okay, it's back together again for the most part. I found that the additional tuning tuner goes here, so there wasn't really an extra. And the other transformer does in fact mount over here. I'm missing all the proper screws, but that would be just a quick trip to the hardware store, and I can do all the outer screws. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this unit, if I'm going to fix it up or just kind of display it. I mean, if I could find another unit to use for parts, it'd be a little easier to make that decision. But I mean, I need some tube sockets. Now I could actually repair those tube sockets, I think, using some real simple, cleverly formed. Actually, that might be the one and only use I would ever have for JB Weld, and then paint it to look natural. I don't know, but it seems to be holding the tube in place okay, but it doesn't sit right. It really needs to be closed up, and but yeah, we're still missing a little bit of hardware here and there. I've got these things that are many of these are actually missing, these little wire holders. Oh crap, you know what, come to think of it, I think I had one in the trunk of my car that belongs to this, and I may have thrown it out by accident, not realizing what it was for. Well, anyway, just put all the rest of the parts inside, and now I'll actually have a way to store it somewhere. But let's see, where's the original cover? There she is. So this one, it looks like it was in the process of being refinished, and they left the old Crosley logo on it, which is nice. It had hinges, but those are long gone. They would have gone there. So the cover would have mounted like that, and it would have had hinges. But sadly, those hinges are not with it anymore. This is what it would have looked like back in 1924, with a nice, probably had a nice dark finish on it originally. It's clearly evident. But there you go.